WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Christmas Day gets off to a deadly start as a Lowndes County woman dies after a late-night incident. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. Lowndes County investigator Brent Swan says deputies responded to a shots fired call on Aileen Drive just before midnight on Monday. However, instead of finding a shooting victim, deputies found 32-year-old Deanna Clark pinned between a car and a tree. She was flown to a Jackson hospital but died earlier this morning. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant says Clark lived at the home. Merchant says the preliminary cause of death is blunt force trauma, but he also adds an autopsy will take place to provide more information. Right now, Lowndes County investigators are still trying to piece together the events that led up to the incident, but they do have a 29-year-old man in custody who was the alleged driver of the vehicle. Two communities are in mourning after a horrifying fire near Memphis claims the lives of 3 French Camp Academy students and a Collierville woman. Shay Arthur from CBS affiliate WREG has more on the fire and families left in mourning this holiday.
On this Christmas Eve throughout the day, people have been coming by, dropping off things like flowers, paying their respects to the 4 people who lost their lives inside this now boarded up home. This is video of the 2-story home off Autumn Winds Drive going up in flames.
Kind of left speechless when you're watching. There's nothing you could do.
Chris Petinias came outside after the fire department showed up just before 11 last night. Some of those inside at the time well known in the neighborhood and Collierville community. Their church, Collierville Bible Church, identifying them as the Coudriot family. Sadly, 46-year-old Carrie Coudriot did not make it out. The family was hosting and housing 3 teenagers who also passed away. 2 girls and a boy ages 14, 15, and 17. They attended French Camp Academy in Mississippi, about 2 hours south of Memphis. Their parents are missionaries in India. Collierville Bible Church supporting them. Danny Coudriot, Carrie's husband, was able to get out of the home after crashing through a window. His 13-year-old son also escaping after he jumped out of the 2nd-story window.
This was a loving family, and all they were wanting to do was spend time with each other for Christmas, like everybody does.
Right now, the cause of the fire is unknown, but it appears to have started at the lower level of the house. Fire officials telling us there was not a working smoke detector downstairs, but the one upstairs was working. People around the neighborhood said the family has always been known for helping others.
They were very religious. They would help my mother a lot. The kids would come and take her trash out for her and bring her cans up.
Now the community doing what they can to help. The Walgreens down the street from the home at Byhalia Road and Poplar collecting donations, along with a fund created by the Collierville Bible Church.
It could happen to anybody. It's such a simple thing for it to turn so tragic so quickly.
Earlier this morning, while people all across the area were opening Christmas gifts, police officers right here in Columbus were beginning their first shift of the day. Our Renee Skinner hit the streets to join them in a ride-along.
We're on the front line. We deal with a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. We see the best of people, we see the worst of people.
Crime doesn't stop just because it's the holiday season.
Southbound, 45 north.
Which means the men and women in blue are out patrolling.
There's no such thing as a routine traffic stop.
Officer Raymond Hackler started his shift at 8 a.m. Tuesday.
This is it's a medium-sized beat. It's a fairly sized area.
Assigned to the East Columbus beat. Right now, we're riding around neighborhoods and back streets near Highway 69.
657, 24.
Before long, activity on the scanner. A brief police chase
Color, southbound.
that didn't require Officer Raymond to respond, but his ears are always on the shortwaves.
Always important for officers to give their, to give the information and where they're at, when they're dealing with stuff like that, and also to give the vehicle speed because that kind of gives us an idea as to how fast this person's going.
Another listening tool he values as an officer: the people.
The citizens that are out here in these neighborhoods, they're your eyes and ears. If you ever really want to know what's going on in the community, get out of the car, go out and talk to people, touch bases with them, get to know them, and they'll tell you a lot of things that you had no idea that was going on.
Community policing and getting to know the businesses that make up the area comes with the job.
I'm just going to run in here real quick and check on them.
We stopped at this Chevron gas station during the ride.
They really do appreciate on the holidays when you come in and check, just pop in real quick, say, hey, how's everything going? Just checking on you guys. Hopefully everything goes smooth today. If you need anything, let us know.
Hackler says a police pop-up at a local business helps ward off any suspicious activity.
They like that, that personal touch.
Towards the end of my ride, another personal touch. A handshake from a resident.
Your Hannah?
Thanking officers for keeping a watchful eye.
As many people that are out there that say, maybe some not so nice things about, police officers, law enforcement in general.
Reaffirming a job well done.
There's just as many people out there that do believe in you. And to me, that's worth it.
And a passion for the patrol.
That was our Renee Skinner reporting there. Officer Hackler has more than 25 years of experience in law enforcement. Well, the gifts have been passed out, and everything from new flat screens to firearms have now found new homes. But the task now is keeping them. Calhoun County Sheriff Greg Pollin says one of the first things people should do is take pictures and make notes about their new big-ticket items, just in case someone tries to steal them away.
Write those serial numbers down, because if you're unfortunately a victim of a crime, sometimes it's very little that we can do to trace it. We can't enter weapons or anything like that on NCIC if we don't have the serial number, and you'd be surprised how many people don't. So we strongly encourage that. I mean, it takes a few minutes. Make you a list, hide it, put it in your safe, put it in your lockbox at the bank, and update it periodically.
Investigators also recommend not advertising any new gadgets on social media, and also not to put boxes outside your homes that can show thieves all of the new things that are inside. Well, it is now time to turn our attention over to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is standing by with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Quentin, we were talking about the possibility of a lot of cloud cover around here today. That was indeed what we had. That's our time lapse from Vernon, Alabama at Durham's Pharmacy. A gloomy day here in many spots. A few showers here earlier. Still a chance for a few spotty showers this evening and tonight. We're really stuck in the 40s right now. We've been stuck in the 40s in a good chunk of the area all day long. 40s this evening, mainly cloudy conditions tomorrow. Hopefully a little bit brighter overall, upper 50s to low and mid 60s. Rain returns in earnest Thursday. More on that system, Quentin, in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Keith. Mississippi is trying to make the state's highways a little safer and friendlier for holiday travelers. The State Department of Transportation is banning oversized and overweight commercial vehicles on its state and federal highways for part of the holidays. MDOT says the ban runs through Christmas Eve until tomorrow and will be enforced again on December 31st through January 2nd. Executive Director Melinda McGrath says the temporary ban is intended to ease traffic and improve safety for all holiday travelers. Well, from now until New Year's, law enforcement all throughout the region will step up their patrols to crack down on intoxicated drivers. The extra enforcement is part of the federal Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. That initiative provides grant money for departments to pay overtime for extra officers and those who are manning safety checkpoints. Now, police hope this knowledge of the extra enforcement will help motorists make better plans. Alabama lawmakers are gearing up for the new legislative session. Legislators will meet in Montgomery beginning January 8th to organize the 4-year term. Members will elect a Speaker of the House and other leadership positions, approve rules, and receive committee assignments. The organizational session could last until January 17th. Governor Kay Ivey and other statewide elected officials will be sworn into office on January 14th. The first day of the 2019 regular legislative session is set for March 5th. The Christmas holiday is softening the blow a little, but today is the 4th day of a partial government shutdown, and President Donald Trump repeated that it will not end without a barrier at the border. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with more.
I can't tell you when the government's going to be open. I can tell you it's not going to be open until we have a wall, a fence, whatever they'd like to call it.
President Trump offered no hints of when the government shutdown could come to an end, claiming thousands of government employees working without pay understand.
They want border security. The people of this country want border security.
The president spoke to reporters after calling troops to wish them a Merry Christmas.
I just want to thank you all. That was a great job you've done.
That was not the message Mr. Trump had for the Federal Reserve one day after a Christmas Eve stock market tumble.
They're raising interest rates too fast. That's my opinion, but I certainly have confidence.
The president was also asked by reporters what he expects in the new year when Democrats take control of the U.S. House next week on January 3rd.
Well, then it's probably presidential harassment, and we know how to handle that. I think I handle that better than anybody. And there's been no collusion. After 2 years, no collusion.
President Trump canceled his Florida holiday plans to stay in Washington, D.C. amid the shutdown. But Capitol Hill is a Christmas ghost town, with lawmakers not returning until Thursday afternoon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, as the border security fight between Congress and the president continues, there's news that a second child, this time an 8-year-old from Guatemala, has died in immigration custody this month. Area volunteers share the Christmas spirit with some of their neighbors. We check in on the feast for the body and soul when we come back. Welcome back. An area food pantry goes all out to put on a special holiday feast and spread a little Christmas cheer. It was a full house today as volunteers at Loaves and Fishes right here in Columbus served up Christmas lunch and a little bit of fellowship to those in need. Last year, organizers say they only fed a small group because not a lot of people knew their doors would be open on Christmas. However, this year, word traveled fast.
So we're so grateful. Everybody just wanted to do something. We had people to prepare food. We had people to prepare desserts and loading their trucks and bringing it all over. So been a great group effort.
When I went to the United Way meeting a couple of months ago, she told me their biggest need was they weren't open on Christmas. So I think people, the first year we did it, they were just shocked that we were open. So now people are looking forward to it, and we're just excited to be here.
Volunteers also came in from Hamilton and Aberdeen. They were expecting to serve around 150 meals today. A New Year's Eve pre-party gives guests a chance to have a good time for a good cause. The Almost New Year's Eve party is set for Thursday night at Romy's Grocery in Tupelo. This year's event benefits New Expectations for Women in Mississippi, or NEWMS. Scott Reed and his band, 2 Drink Minimum, will provide music for the evening. Reed says the party is a fun way to help out.
One of the different things about this party is that the charity gets a part of every dollar from every ticket sold until we take care of costs. No one's trying to make a lot of money off this party. We're just trying to cover costs, and then once we cover costs, they get 100% of every ticket sold. And so we've raised a lot of money in good years.
Now, the event is set for Thursday, December 27th at Romy's Grocery beginning at 7 p.m. until 11. For more information, just go to the Almost New Year's Eve Party Facebook page.
Travel around our region on Wednesday should be okay. Not too active around here. A little bit warmer, low 60s around our neck of the woods. Big time storms start to erupt back to the west tomorrow, but those storms get here on Thursday. More on that after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, some of us got a Christmas gift in the form of a little bit of blue sky, like Louisville with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network, downtown Louisville, Mississippi here. But most of us stayed socked in with the clouds all day long. Temperatures right now, we are in the 40s, down to our south 50s and 60s. A good chunk of central and southern Mississippi today got to 70 degrees. But if you are watching from Columbus or Tupelo, you're thinking, where was that? Because we've been stuck in the mid and upper 40s all day long. We also had a few showers around here. Most of that activity is done. There's still a little bit down here north of Jackson, and there's a little wave of energy and some cloudiness shifting back to the north. So we still may see a few isolated showers tonight and tomorrow morning. Not a big deal for us. Lows tonight into the mid to low 40s, mostly cloudy winds from the east and southeast for your Wednesday. We start out in the 40s, back into the upper 50s, the low 60s in our area as we get into the afternoon hours. So we're going to advertise some low 60s around here, flirting with 70 degrees again farther to the south. That's the way it's looking across the Twin States for our day Wednesday. Here's Futurecast. Notice how that little band of showers for the most part, will migrate to the north and not really affect too many people tonight and tomorrow morning. Let's hope that we can thin out the clouds. There's still a fair amount of clouds expected in the region tomorrow. As we get into tomorrow night and Thursday morning, rain chances come on back as the moisture returns to the area. And then we're going to be watching a big batch of storms back to the west Thursday morning. There are some signs that we may get a gusty line of storms and some heavy rain to move on through here at some point during the day on Thursday. At this point, some damaging wind potential and some very heavy rainfall. The main threats here, some spots may see 1.5 to maybe or a ½ inch to maybe 3 inches of rain. A pretty big range there, but some spots could get a good soaking. Hail and tornado threats remain low with this particular setup, but we'll watch it, of course. The most unstable air is expected across central and southern Mississippi. This is the thunderstorm energy on Thursday. Notice the brighter colors to our south, but we are close. And we always have to watch out when we are close. But there's the expected rainfall amounts. A pretty good soaking, especially across our southeastern zones into southern Mississippi and parts of Alabama. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We are looking at some rain and storm potential on Thursday, lingering showers Friday morning, and we'll just carry over these rain opportunities into the weekend and next week. Sports is next.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
While it may be Christmas today, the Alabama football team held their holiday celebrations a little bit earlier this year. In preparations for the Orange Bowl, the Crimson Tide already practicing in Miami, preparing for number 4 Oklahoma. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa joined in on practice as his ankle injury reportedly continues to improve. Something of note, 3 Alabama players did not make the trip and will not be participating in the playoff game. Head coach Nick Saban releasing a statement saying that redshirted sophomore offensive lineman Deontay Brown and Elliott Baker, along with sophomore tight end Kedrick James, have been suspended due to a violation of team rules and policies. The Orange Bowl kicks off at 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 29th.
We just moved up Christmas a little bit, watched the grandkids, sort of open presents, and you know, our players all got to go home for a few days, so I think we're here now ready to get refocused on, you know, having the opportunity to play in a playoff game against a, you know, outstanding Oklahoma team that presents a lot of challenges.
I really just had someone there to just treat it. Other than that, just rested. And at this point, we're doing a lot better. I got to move yesterday. You know, got to get a feel of it before we come out today's practice. Feels pretty good.
Offense is explosive. Their offense got a great offense, a great leader in the quarterback, and Kyler, a very good quarterback. So stopping that offense on all scales is going to be challenging, but we're going to have to go watch film on it.
Well, there's still some time left before Mississippi State faces off against Iowa in the Outback Bowl. But it's been a minute since we've seen what this Bulldog team can really do. As a quick refresh, here's a look back at the top 5 best plays and moments from Mississippi State's 2018 season. Starting things off at number 5 early in the season against Louisiana, Nick Fitzgerald throwing a beauty to Kylan Hill for a touchdown. The Bulldogs would get off to a hot start early in the season, 3-0. Number 4, Fitzgerald on the QB keeper. He's going to use his legs to find an opening and to seal the deal. They would upset number 8 Auburn for the Bulldogs' first SEC win of the season. It was their first ranked win as well, not a bad win for them. Number 3, Fitzgerald with another bomb. This time, it's going to send it to Justin Johnson. It was on Senior Day against Arkansas to finish the season out with an 8-4 record. Number 2, you can't forget about the Egg Bowl. Fitz on the handoff to Hill. He's going to bulldoze his way on through the Landshark defense, gets the touchdown, and the Golden Egg would return on home to Starkville. And number 1, it's a personal favorite of mine, a perfect finishing play for Fitzgerald. Just finding an easy out, plenty of room to go, gets a touchdown for the Dogs. They would go on to upset number 16, Texas A&M, and it would also slot MSU back in the national polls at number 21. A great win for Mississippi State, a great season for the Bulldogs as well, and we'll be seeing plenty of them in the Outback Bowl against Iowa on New Year's Day. That's it for sports. Last look at your forecast after the break.
Should be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Some heavier rain, some storms possible on Thursday. Breezy as well. Still in the 60s on Friday. Cooler 50s return for the weekend into early next week. So pretty unsettled as we close out 2018, Quentin.
I was kind of hoping for a white Christmas today, Keith. I didn't get it, but you know, the weather wasn't too bad.
Keep dreaming.
Today. Keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming. You know, we survived Christmas.
And it's been good so far, right?
So far, so good, yeah.
Have a Merry Christmas, everyone.